want to talk about our nervous system and the fact that it's on a quest for safety. We've had a crazy 18 months, and it's woken our need to be safe. I mean, we can see this in all the press conferences and everything else. Everyone needs to be safe. Yeah, it's gone a bit crazy. But so many of us are feeling defensive. The thing is that we use our metabolic resources of our body to defend ourselves. It's not just that it damages our ability to be creative and loving, but more importantly, when we're in a defensive state, we damage our immune systems and we reduce our ability to heal and cope with illnesses and viruses and things. And it all happens in the same neural pathway. There's a vagus nerve that carries information down from the brain to the periphery of your body to calm you down, to let you know you are safe, and it's very much linked to the face. Our brain detects facial expressions, intonation, and gestures, and it makes a decision whether the engagement we're in is safe or dangerous. One of the sad things in our present craziness is that masks increase our wary, stressed state because we can't detect the normal facial expressions, and it just makes us edgier than we were already. When people, and in fact all mammals, are in a situation where they can't fight or run effectively, they freeze. Think about the impala and the lion. When the impala's grabbed, it just freezes and turns off completely. Mouse and the cat. We hear a lot about abused women, and very abused women are often frozen. They partially shut down and they reduce their pain to enable their survival. They can't run away in this state. They can't leave the abuser easily at all. They may be unable to say no in a dangerous situation or a sexual assault situation because they're automatically closed down. It's not that they're letting the person have their way. It's just that they've become traumatized and clamped down and frozen. It's interesting that those who've experienced trauma are very often reported to have difficulties in understanding the human voice, where there are background sounds, while at the same time being hypersensitive to background noises. So it can be a really strange phenomenon where people say, but you're carrying on all the time that everything's too noisy. How can you possibly be deaf? Well, it's due to a deficit that happens in the neural tone of the middle muscles when people have been traumatized. And I can assure you that applies to me. The hearing thing is very interesting. The harmonics that are necessary to detect consonants in speech do not get into the inner ear or brain. So you can hear all the words, but you've no idea what people are actually saying. They're mumbling. And that's not necessarily fixed completely with hearing aids either. What's happening is that the harmonics necessary just don't get in. The ears were damaged. And traumatized people absorb more of the low frequencies that are associated with danger and predators. Oh yes, look, a lot of this article is directly relating to my own experiences. But I think I'm an interesting case study because I work through all my experiences as part of making sense of them and also giving me a lot more background to help my clients. And you need to remember that I was engaged in research on neurophysiology many, many years ago. So I've got a background in how our nervous systems work. And that actually enhances my ability to be a good hypnotherapist. When people, and in fact all mammals, are in a situation where they can't fight and flee, well, they freeze. Similarly, abused women often are frozen or dissociated. They partially shut down. They reduce their pain to enable their survival. It's not something they consciously do, it just happens at an automatic level. They cannot run in this state. They cannot easily leave their abusers. Hey, it happens to men as well, although less often. We've had 18 months of an increased need for safety, and this has had a huge impact on some people, especially. We need to consciously increase our tolerance and to ask for help if we need it. We need to understand what's going on. And when we look around, if we do look at the news, and we probably should for a little while, but not too long, we see huge numbers of people being very angry. Well, they are reacting to a need to be safe. The need to be safe is fight, flight, and freeze. And so that's what happens. Some people are fighting and flighting. Some of our premiers seem to have a lot less compassion than they were. I wonder if it's partially because they're pretty freaked out themselves, are trying to be in charge when they are not feeling very safe. Oh dear, here comes my office helper again. So, yes, we need to understand what's going on. We need to be tolerant and kind. This will pass.